Hello everyone, welcome to this video on an overview of online exam in IFW Campus ERP 2.0. During this video, you will have the look and feel about the product. In the module list at the left, there is a module Online Exam. This module is divided into three parts: Masters, Forms and Reports. Let's have a look at this module in detail. The first form is Question Groups. Here you have to create the question groups like we have created here. Their groups may be based on subject, based on class, based on the type of course, etc. We have created some groups here. The groups can be independent as well as they can be created under any particular group. You can delete the group, you can edit the group, you can add any group under any particular group. Give the group code here and the group name. Click on save. If you want to add any description, you can add that. So the groups are added here. If you want to edit any existing group, you can select the group and edit it. Next is questions. Here you have to create your question bank. You have to give the questions the question type. The question type may be single selection, multiple selection, etc. We will see how we can add that. You have to give the level, category of the question and the group. Click on add. First, select the question type. Your question types may be single selection, multiple selection. The question can be a fill in the blank type question or one word answer question. You can also create the match the column type of questions or descriptive type of questions in which the student have to write a descriptive answer. You can take a make sentence type of question. If you are taking a single selection type of question, first of all you have to select the question levels. These question levels are predefined. The question level can be an easy question, moderate question, difficult, and you can also increase the difficulty level. Suppose you are creating a moderate question, then you have to select the category. These categories flow from the code master. If you are giving an analytical question or engineering based question or management based question, you have to select the category for which you are entering the question. You can also give the weightage of the question. The lock field which is given here is used to lock the question. If you lock any question, then it is locked. The question groups which were created earlier will be shown here. You have to select that this question lies under which group. You have to add your question here like this. The question has been added. You have to add the options here. Add your options. After adding the options, you have to choose one right answer. Use this checkbox for the option which is correct. If you want to add any more options, you can use this button, add new answer, to add further options. We have added the 4 options here and we have set one as right answer. Once the question has been set, you can also give an explanation about the question or a hint for the answer which will be displayed further. Export and Export Plus buttons are used to generate the reports. The reports will be generated in HTML, PDF, Excel and CSV. Let's see one report how it is generated. So this is how the report has been generated with the desired fields which were entered. Next comes the online exam grading patterns. We have to create the grading patterns, that what type of grades and how the grading scale will be defined. You have to give the grading scale name and you have to describe the grades. The grade range has to be given, that from which to which what grade will be applicable. Online exam groups. Here the groups are created to group a set of classes. Group the exam templates or exams for a set of classes. You have to give the group name. You have to apply the grading pattern on the group name, that which grading pattern will be applicable on this group. Once these groups are created, we have created several groups here. After that, you will be defining the question paper templates. While defining the question paper templates, you have to select the paper template which is a code master entry. Select the difficulty level, category. You have to select the question type, number of questions and the question group. Let's see how these are added. We selected here the desired options. Now we have to select the groups from here, that which group will be applicable on this particular template, and click on save. Next form is online exams. Here, the details about the exam have to be defined. All the rules and settings about the exam which are to be conducted will be defined here. You have to select the exam groups which were created using the exam group form. You have to give the name of the examination, the number of papers that will be conducted for this examination, the start and end date for the exam, and the date on which the result will be declared. Paper can be of two types. Either you have to set the paper manually or it can be auto-generated. The status of the exam, question series, how you want it, the exam type, and the rules about the exam are to be defined here. There are various rules like whether you want to allow the examination logins or not, you want a test candidate or not, the questions and options will be in a series or randomized, whether you will be using the candidate activity log, paper will be allowed to view or not. So several rules are there which have to be defined. After that, you have to set the rules about the marking, how the marking will be done, how many questions will be, what will be the total marks and the passing marks, the positive marks and the negative marks if any, and the duration of the paper. Once you have defined the general settings about the paper, then you have to define some specific settings. Your paper will be allowed to students only if it is active. You have to add certain instructions using this button. The instructions will be added which will be shown while the paper is given. If you want to add any sections of the papers, you can add. For example, your paper is divided into two sections. You have added the sections, the number of questions have been given, how many number of questions will be there. After that, you have to define the questions in your paper, whether they will be random or manually. For example, if we set a random question, here what happens, all the questions in the question bank will be listed here. You have to select the question bank. For example, we selected this. All the questions will be displayed here, like there are 3 moderate questions and 2 easy level of questions. So how many questions you will be taking? For example, we are taking 3 out of 3 and 1 out of 2. Click on add. So these questions will be added here. You have to give the marks which will be given for correct question and marks which will be deducted for incorrect question. If you want to take a preview, you can take a preview from here. This is how your question paper will look like. If you want to print it with answers, you can do that. So here your question paper has been printed with answers. Next, we come upon to the manual process of setting the questions. Here, how we will set is, in the manual, you have to select the group and the question bank. All the questions will be displayed here. You have to select the question which you want to add and which you want to remove. So this is how you add the questions. If you want to remove any question, uncheck it. So the questions will be removed. There are 2 processes of adding the questions in the paper. One is random and one is manually. When you move forward in the list, the details about the examination will be displayed along with the date and time of the examination. The paper will be allowed to given on the particular date and between the start and end time. Next tab is of candidates. Here all the candidates will be listed. If you want to add any new candidate, you can do that. Manage candidate allows you to add the existing students in the ERP to give the online exam. So you can select the students from the list here and click on add to add the students in the list. If you want to register any new students who are not there in the ERP or from the outside the college, use this register new candidate button to give the details about the candidate. Candidate login details can be generated from here. You can send the login details to the candidate through emails. You can check the exam status. Once all the settings have been set for the online exam, the students will be allowed to give the exam. Let's see the student login, how the students are allowed to give the exam. This is a student login. On the dashboard, the student will get the details about all the active online exams. Here, all the details about the exams are given on the student login. dashboard along with the details of the examination. The student will get the username and password along with the link of the examination. All the active examinations are shown here. Paper 1, paper 2, other examinations, all are shown here. Let's see how the student can give the exam or appear in the exam. The student has to click on the link provided. The student will get this login page where the student has to select the paper. The username and password given to the students will be used to log in. When the student logs in, details about the exam will appear. The duration of the exam, the type of the exam, the start and end time of the exam. The instructions will appear here which we have entered while setting the rules for the online exam. When the student clicks on appear exam, the questions will appear here along with the time. The countdown will start for the student. The student has 30 minutes to complete this paper according to the set rules. Here you have to select, since it is a single selection, click on next. Select another option according to the question. Click on next. If you want to go on to the previous question, you can use the navigation buttons provided here. You can move from one question to another. From here, you can jump on any question directly. This is how we have came on to the selected questions. Here you will get a summary that how many questions have been answered, how many are not answered, and how many are left blank. According to the given details, we have answered all the questions. The time has been given here. You can finish the paper by clicking on this finish button. Once you click on finish, your paper will be submitted and the student will be logged out automatically. So this is how the student can appear in the examination. Again, we come upon to the online exam form where we set all the rules about the exam. Once all the students have attempted for the online exam, you can check the exam status. Here you will be getting the status about the exam, that who all have submitted the exam and who all have not submitted the exam. You can check the exam status of a single student, the details about the exam. You can check the answer paper by clicking on this button. The right answer will be given here and the student's answer will be given here. The marks allotted to the students and obtained by the students will also display. Along with this, there are several reports in the report and report plus options which can be used to generate the reports. Online exam paper report. You can check the candidate login sheet, online exam result sheets, online exam result sheets in details, performance reports, answer status, question response, question bank summary, and marks distribution statistics. Let's see a few reports out of this. Online exam paper report. Here, select one exam. Fields are listed here. You can select the required fields. You can use the options given here. You can sort the data. You can group your data. Click on export and print. This is how the report has been generated with the required details. Online exam paper report. You can also generate other reports. Let's see one more report like online exam result sheet in detail. Here you have to select the examination group. You have to select the online exam for which you want to generate the report. You can also select other options given here. Click on export and print. This is how the exam result sheet has been generated. Similarly, you can also generate other reports like answer status reports, question response reports, etc. All the reports which are listed here in this report plus can be generated in the same way. Moving further to the report section, we have the custom reports. custom reports used to generate the iCards for the candidates. Here you can select the template, select the online exam for which you want to generate the iCards. Click on search. All the students will be listed below. Click on generate and print to generate the iCards for the selected candidates. So this is how the iCards have been generated for the selected candidates. This was all about the online exam. Thank you.